Alright, hi everybody. So, okay, hold on. So, we have a bit of an update, here, and this is the second take what I'm doing of this shit. We have an update to the 30th anniversary set that Funimation is going to release for Dragon Ball Z. And yeah, and then I just wanted to also address some stupidity and other things that some people have either through my way or through other people's ways or just have released into the world to show that they're not really that smart. Um, so last week, or over a week ago, when Funimation put out the original trailer for this thing, they announced this set, and then just as a bit of a recap. Which, by the way, they changed how the numbering here works. Um, they they uh, they changed how this works, by the way. After they got past 3,000 orders, they changed this so it counts down instead of counting up, which to me doesn't make any sense whatsoever, because at first it was counting up. Not anymore. Now it's counting down. You either have one or the other, and you don't switch in halfway there. That is really stupid, you know. Um, and you don't even make that clear that that's what you did. You know, people have to figure that out. Which nice Funimation. But yeah, so we have a couple more updates to this FAQ down here. Why 3,000 units minimum and 6,000 units maximum? This is the minimum build order for sets from our printers. This minimum makes sure that we can sell the product to you at an affordable price. $350 for a shitty remaster. I wouldn't say so. Currently, $6,000 is the maximum build order due to manufacturing limits. How about you do this, which I'll say after I read this. If this set hits 6,000 units, will there really be no, or is there really no way to make more? Unfortunately, due to the manufacturing limits, you're currently limited to 6,000 units. That's why we encourage you to get your pre-order in as soon as possible. Yeah, how about you make a tier version of this with 3 or 4 different tiers where for one of them you don't include the figure, another one you don't include the art book, and then another one you neither include either of these. So you just include the episodes on the discs. That seems easy enough, you know? We don't need the art book or the figure, honestly. We just want the episodes. And the episodes in proper 4x3 with a proper remaster. That's just my thing right there. But yeah, that's on top of some of the stupidity and confusion right there. Um, it's just like, oh my god, why do you do this to me, Funimation? With just that, it's just really dumb. But then last Wednesday or Tuesday, they got this trailer out, which is a footage comparison to show off how they're remastering, and then they got out this blog, which I read the entirety of this shit and reacted to it in the last video I did. Um, which thank you guys for watching if you have come from that video. So yeah. Um, so yeah, and then Funimation has all of these different screenshots, which I did close out of these tabs. So I just reopen them. So I open these in new tabs, and then what happened here is that if you looked in the URL for these, they were forced into let's see. Yeah, there we go. Just to show you this, they were forced into 1024 by 576. And if you remove this from the URL, you get a full 1080p picture version of it. They forcefully downscaled these pictures to a lesser quality. And they not only did this for the film reels, but they did it for their own stuff as well. I don't know why. I really don't know why. Some people are thinking that it's them trying to basically make things seem better than they actually are when it comes to their remasters and the film reels. But yeah, so we have the raw film scans right here. And I'll reiterate this once again, especially since this video is probably going to be higher quality than the last one because of the screen recording I'm using. I'm experimenting with it. Using my computer's native screen recording stuff instead of an app. But we have this nice raw film scan that could use some, some light DNR to remove some of the grain. Don't go too heavy with it, and some enhancement to the colors to make them more vibrant and whatever else. But then the cropping, it should only be you should only push in the sides a little bit to fit the frame, and then push down on the tops and bottoms. Don't go overly crazy with it. It really doesn't need to be any more than that. It really doesn't. Then we get their current remaster right here, and if you look at the clouds and the mountains, they get turned into watercolors. They really shouldn't be that. They look like a first graders or kindergartners watercolors right there. I mean, just look at this shit. It's fucking unreal because of the amount of DNR and the or DBNR and the sharpening tool that they use. It has this unfortunate side effect, and Funimation hasn't seemed to learn from their past remasters on this. And then look at the leaves. I think they're supposed to be pine needles, or maybe they're supposed to be regular leaves on this tree right here. Yeah, gets turned into a fucking watercolor. I didn't know Bob Ross worked at Funimation post-mortem. But yeah, and then the tree branch itself, you have a bunch of different, really good, line work and everything right there. It just gets smoothed away. This isn't how this is supposed to look. I mean, if you just look at the amount of detail lost between the two screenshots, it's clear that Funimation are really, really not caring to actually preserve quality when it comes to remastering these episodes. But now I want to get into something that has been a thing for the last week or so, when a Funimation staff member by the name of Tim wrote two different things on Discord in Funimation's Discord server. I don't see how this is improper. It's just not this specific thing one group wants. Like, if we please one group, we're displeasing another. I don't know how many people understand how old and hard to work with the footage is. I don't think you do either. Old Japanese footage is very different than Hollywood footage. Than old Hollywood footage. No, it's really not. Like, even though you have third generation duplicated prints, they're still pretty good in terms of preserving the quality and the colors and everything. As we can see from this, all you need is a light DNR or grain removal process or other grain removal process, I should say, to clean this up, and then an enhancement to make the colors more vibrant, and you're good. Like, I have remastered this shit myself. I have enhanced the colors in fucking iMovie, and the screenshots have just turned out better. Even Funimation's own remastered screenshots, the colors are much better with the enhancement in iMovie. That's how stupid this shit is. So, yeah. First of all, another thing, which is basically second of all, it's just not the very specific thing one group wants. Yeah, it is. I believe that they were talking about, remastering this properly. Yeah, the group that you're aiming at is specifically said, trying to find the exact thing right there. Here we go. This is specifically aimed at hardcore, for the more hardcore subset of DBZ fans who want to experience the series with higher integrity. You are not doing that when it comes to these shitty remasters. And you're not doing any favors for yourselves by writing a stupid blog post that doesn't know shit, that tries to fleece the masses, and then, has these screenshots of the raw film negatives in here next to your remastering process, and we can see that the raw film is a lot better. You're not supposed to have raw film be that much better than your remastering process. Like, if we displease one group, we're displeasing another. Who do you think this set is aimed at? This is a limited edition set for $350 fucking dollars, plus tax, by the way, and shipping, which is going to come out to be more like $370. That is aimed at the hardcore subset of fans. The hardcore subset of fans want the grain. We want the more accurate representation from the actual film stock. Not this bullshit. Okay? I don't know how many people understand how old and hard to work with the footage is. The footage is at least 20 to 25 years old from your raw film masters and their third generation duplicated prints made sometime in the 90s as well from Toei themselves to give to Funimation for use however they will when, distributing the series. Old Japanese footage is different than old Hollywood footage. No, it's not. It's basically the same. It's the same material, it's the same technology. It's pretty much exactly the same. Japan may be a little bit, more advanced with that shit, but not by much. Okay. And I'll explain how this process worked for animation when I get to the third screenshot I have that I took on YouTube from someone who legitimately is a dumb fuck and does not understand how this shit works. Me and my friends growing up are hardcore DB fans. None of us really want grain. You're not who this fucking set is aimed at. Okay? Fuck off. So I don't really get where you're coming from, honestly. Of course you don't. You just explained why you don't know. No disrespect, I just don't think we have the same definition of hardcore fan. No, your definition of a hardcore fan is someone who will take what they are given no matter what, no questions asked, and will be happy because they're stupid. And they don't understand anything about this shit. Okay? You claim people don't know anything about this, or not a lot of people do, or you don't know how many people do or not. You clearly don't know anything about this. Okay? Okay? That's just what I want to say here. But yeah, hardcore fans are not people that are going to take anything that they are given, or everything that they are given. Funimation is trying to have its cake and eat it too with this set. They're trying to get the money from the hardcores that they have sought for so many years. And they realized that they don't have with the majority of their releases of Dragon Ball Z as a series. Outside of Kai and the Dragon Boxes. And, the movies. But they don't apparently want to displease the majority of people who bought their shitty season sets, because they literally did not, the people who bought those literally did not care, and, it really, they just didn't care, and or they bought it because it was the only thing available. On top of that, they tried to release the level sets, but they oversaturated the market in the 4 years before they came out, and as a result, they sold very poorly and cost too much to make, so they canceled them after 2 volumes. I still have the level sets, by the way. They are great. They are great. Which, by the way, I wanna get back to this really quickly as well. We believe that showing the entirety of the film, including the missing black sections, is not true to the intent of the video's representation, as these missing sections are not ever shown in TV broadcasts or home video and would be seen as a mistake. No, idiots. Okay? I didn't react harsh enough to this sentence. No, idiots at Funimation. The reason that they weren't seen is because, and as you can see right in the raw fucking film, the series was not made to be seen in 16:9. Okay? It was not framed to be in 16:9. You see the black fucking shit right here. This is not meant to be seen at 16:9. It's supposed to be at 4:3. People who want this shit, to fill their screens can just do what I'm doing with my mouse right here and zoom in on the picture. They're going to lose a fuck ton of the image, but fuck them. They don't matter. They're not supposed to matter when it comes to this. You know? For TV broadcasts both in Japan and the US, the whole image is always cropped so that the aspect ratio stays the same 4:3 throughout. They're talking about how they're cropping from the raw film scan right here to this. The thing is, it's only cropped because you can see right here the edges and the corners right here, because of the fact that they took a picture of the raw what is it that I'm looking for? Films, or the raw animation cell, and put it there. It left these curved angles right here, or curved things right here, and the edge right here is not that good. And sometimes on the bottoms and tops, the edges are not that great either. Depending on what you're looking at for how old the film is. Okay? And here's the thing. Why would you crop it to 16:9 at all? This whole mentality is honestly wrong. It is stupid, and it makes no sense. Okay? And the only reason that stays in 4:3 on TVs when they were shown in Japan and the US is because they were made at 4:3, and TVs back then were still in 4:3. Okay, the only thing that has changed now is that TVs have a more open area. You know? Yeah. And a lot of companies do have this mentality, but they don't do it to animation. Unless the animation was actually drawn and saved at 16:9, you can't convert an animated series to 16:9, nor should you. Okay? Then you're probably people are probably going to bring up the movies. The movies were framed and shot and animated to be in 16:9 after a cropping, as a result, for theaters. So they're okay to be in 16:9. They were intended to be seen in 16:9 or 4:3. So they animated and shot everything to be in 16:9. Okay? But they animated it in 4:3, so it works in either animation or in either aspect ratio. So yeah. This person is honestly really dumb, and I don't get why they're allowed to man Funimation's Discord server. But then we get this comment, which was left in response to mine on the Funimation Fix Your Fucking Site on this video, which I'm not going to show you. Here we go for the responses right here, which, just to show you guys where exactly this person responded, it was right here. I already responded to it, but just to basically explain what exactly this person said. Shot on film, Anime is drawn. It is never meant to have film grain. That's just a result of how broadcasts work. Well, before digital cameras took over. I don't know if this person meant to have that stop there or not because of the comma, but whatever. Yes, shot on film. Funimation is specifically using film masters to remaster this series. Okay? They have third generation duplicated prints for film. Okay? Sorry. And you can see it right here. They have raw film. Grain is part of film. The reason the grain is there is not because of the animation, it's because of the film. Grain is meant to keep quality preserved. Okay? It's just a byproduct of the fucking formula that you have when you use film. Even new film or new stuff shot on film or put on film has grain in it. Okay? I know more and more digital is taking over and whatever else, but if you look at film, if you look at movies nowadays, and even live action stuff that is probably not shot on film but shot on like digital cameras, there's still there's still grain here, or there's still grain in shots for that. Okay? Okay? And yeah, so I just wanted to say that. But yeah, so it's a part of the film, and yes, shot on film. You can see right here, they took a raw picture of the animation cell from when they animated the series onto film. You have, for this type of filmmaking, you have the animation cell that is drawn beforehand by the animators. Then what they have is a camera that they load the film into, and they take a snapshot of the film reel, or no, the animation cell. Okay? And that's why they have the rounded edges, and that's why the picture is only to a 4x3. The film reel, as you can see right here, is a little bit longer than on the sides than or the animation cell is a little bit longer than the film would be, or no, than the 4x3 would allow. And this is because, the animation cells are slightly bigger, slightly longer, whatever the right word is, than the 4x3 would allow, as you can see right here. Yeah, shot on film. It's a real thing for animation. Okay? Not only live action stuff, but animation, when it is saved on film, gets put on film. Okay? I really don't know what else to say here. They have a camera they take snapshots with and save it onto film. This is a duplicate of that film. Hell, it's a duplicate of a duplicate. So, yeah. So I just wanted to say that right here. If anyone is really, really wondering about all this shit, I'll leave this right here. You can pause the video to just read it. Go watch Anime AJ's videos on this. Go watch any other videos on this to explain how film works and animation works. They'll explain perfectly. Okay? So I think that's all I wanted to say about this. I just wanted to get these out just to dispel rumors and stupidity. Okay? I even had a comment on the last video I did. I can't remember exactly what they said, but basically it was just like, why are you getting so mad at this? Because, when it comes to this, Funimation have laid out exactly why this shit is bad. Like, Seriously. Um, eh, can't open them in new tabs in Firefox. But anyways, yeah, Funimation have explained exactly why this shit is bad in their blog post, unintentionally. Yeah, and Funimation are trying to have their cake and eat it too. You know, they're trying to get money, or they're trying to give hardcore fans what they want, but they're fucking it up so badly because they can't stand to have an image with fucking grain in it for Dragon Ball Z for no other reason than that. And they're trying to get money from hardcore fans by having it in the original aspect ratio, but the original aspect ratio is not all that you need to do, Funimation, you know? I summed it up in a comment I left on this post. I'm confused. Who is this set for? You claim to be targeting hardcore fans. That's why you're only cropping out the edges of the raw film frames. But you're applying heavy DVR and color correction as well. What? That's one of the other things hardcore fans hated about your prior releases. Take a look at your own screenshots, Funny. That's why while I thank you for not turning up the brightness to a level of hurting my eyes, look at the backgrounds, or just stuff not in the foreground. The DVR makes everything look like a watercolor painting, resulting in a loss of detail from the raw film reel. Please undo this. DVR is a thing you need for remasters, but you're applying it too heavily. Sharpening tools don't solve this problem. One of the reasons the level sets were so good is because you brought in people who actually knew what they were doing. Your in-house team doesn't. Either subcontract a film company that knows how to remaster older film stock, or hire people who are trained in how to do it, because your current staff doesn't know how to do this whatsoever. Sorry. Which, still awaiting moderation. I'm betting that they can't even make heads or tails of what the fuck to do. But yeah. It's just like, when you look at this remaster, even in these very, very low-res thumbnails that they uploaded, it's clear that there's a loss of detail even from here. That's one of the stupidest things about it. Like, look at the tiles right here. I pointed this out earlier. You don't see you can see some of the lines here for the tiles. But in this screenshot of the raw film reel, even at this resolution. But here, in the remastered version, you can't because of how they remastered it. It's honestly really, really disheartening. And it's really, really dumb. I hope Funimation actually gets the message and actually gives us what we want. Or they're not getting a dime from the majority of people on this. Granted, they already have 3,000 people or 3,100 people fleeced from this shit. And they'll probably have the full 6,000 by the time this shit comes out. But it's just like, they're not really giving us what we want. They're really not, and it's just disheartening and really, really dumb. But yeah. So I don't really have much else to say about this. So yeah, links description, all my shit. Subscribe if you want, and I'll see you guys in the next one.